Hello there, and welcome to the Sportcat Show, formerly known as the Paranormal Guys. Welcome to everybody that listening in Australia. Thank you for allowing us to tickle your ears on Dare Talk Radio. We are live for the next 2 hours with a special guest. Well, first, let me bring my beautiful co-host out of here, Miss Harley.
Hello, everybody.
So we are live for the next 2 hours, and we'll hopefully have a good engaged chat because the authors tonight, Angel
Just
and
send that to me so I can have
it. Published a great book here. Harley's actually listened to the whole thing all the way through. I have not managed to make it all the way through because I've got too many books, but I'm trying. So come over and find us on the Sportcat shows. Jump in the chat. I'm horrible about introductions, so I'm just going to bring you two out and let you tell everybody about yourself, and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having us. My name is Rocio Aquino. I'm from Mexico.
And my name is Angel. I'm from Puerto Rico, and Rocio and I have been married for 25 years.
Oh, congratulations. I've been married for like 800, I think. So it's tough. So we have been trying for a long time to get y'all on to the show. And I'm sorry, by the way, I mispronounced your name when we started. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I should have asked beforehand. But we've been trying to get you all on for a long time. And I had some family problems, as you know, and then I got sick, and Harley was about to beat me with a wet noodle if I didn't get you all back, because she says that your book is instrumental in helping her change her life. So.
Well, I see myself a lot in Jennifer because I am 40 years old. I've been married for 20 years, and it's a very difficult situation, which Glenn knows a lot of what goes on. And after reading the book, I've been making lists and things to, like, keeping notebooks of things and steps that I want to do to change and how I'm going to go about changing things going on in my life. Like,
for our
I read that
audience,
book
explain
in
who
a day and
Jennifer
a half. Jennifer's a character in the book, and she, in her head, well, she feels like nothing she does is right. Nothing will ever be, she'll never be good enough for anybody. And her husband divorces her and leaves her for a younger woman, and then has children with this other woman. And a lot comes out while she's at the Orchid about how she feels about all that. And I really, really liked this book. Like, if there was really a place like the Orchid that I could go to, I would be going to it. Because I've got 4 children, and like my oldest is 21 and my youngest is 13, and it's just been like that book it really did a lot for me.
Mm.
So I was so mad when, like, I listened to it in a whole day and a half, and then Glenn's like, "Well, I'm sick, so we're not gonna have them, and I don't know where they're coming." And I'm like, "No, you need to get them back on the show. They need to know that this book really helped me, because like, I keep a log now of things to help me change my goals in life."
Harley, thank you so much for insisting in us coming here tonight because believe me, you are not alone. This is the book that I wish I have in the moments that I needed most. So believe me, after searching for 30 years, different answers, when I found it and I begin to experience uh, a change in my life on direction, in that moment, I was feeling like we need to share this to the world, how we can do it in a way that we can inspire more people to see themselves and then see all the possibilities that we can do to really begin to live a life different. So thank you so much because I'm Jennifer too, and I'm Sophia, and I'm all the women who are there, and Angel is the same. He was in a very difficult position too, but what you see between him and I is he was able to let it go, and I was not able to let it go.
It seems
So
like it's easier for men to let things go than it is for women, because we tend to hold on to things and then come back to it later, and then we think, "Okay, that was my fault. Why did I do that?" And then like with me, I tend to blame myself for a lot of things that happen, and then I'm like later on, I'm like thinking about it now, and I'm like, "No, that wasn't my fault. I had no control in that." And before I read this book, I probably wouldn't have done that. Now I sit and I think about everything, and I'm like, "No, that's not my fault. I need to let it go."
mm,
And I
Oh
have
my
my best
gosh.
friend listening to this book now too. And
Wow.
she doesn't listen to them like I do. Like right now I'm on another series and I'm on book 9 of that series, but she's listening to it, and it's from what she's read so far, it's helping her too.
Wow. Look, I mean, first of all, Harley, Glenn, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited. Harley, when you were speaking, all I could think was when we wrote the book, we used to say we had no idea, right? You don't really know. You go at it and you're inspired. Something is driving you. Um, and but we used to say if it changes one life, that's it, one person, it would have all been worth it. So I'm just so excited to be here today to be able to say, Harley, we wrote it for you, right? Because ultimately, wow, to hear those words, it is the greatest reward that anyone can have after putting a piece of writing out into the world. And sure enough, we wrote it because we were changing the way we're looking at our lives, just like you are now, just like what you said. And it's like, wait a minute, you mean I can look at things differently? You mean these are ideas that I have in my head after the way I've grown up? And so, but if I start changing them, then maybe my life could be different. What a concept. And that's where it came from the desire to be able to share that with more people, so that more people can realize that it's not over, that at any point in your life you can pick it up from wherever you are, no matter what you've done. And it doesn't matter if it's ugly, if it's nasty, how many mistakes you've made. You can change, and it's okay to have made those mistakes, and we can move forward and pick it up from there. And that's so exciting. So I'm honored, really, that to be here and to hear your words and to be with the both of you right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I was telling Glenn, like, I see myself in a lot of the characters. Like, I grew up in the South in Oklahoma, where, see, I'm
Mm.
not exactly, I'm not straight, and most of my family know that, but growing up, I wasn't accepted for that. And because my grandmother was Southern Baptist, and that was not accepted. And so that I see myself in that character. And like, I had, I didn't have the throwing up like your other character, but I had the binge eating. And I've had gastric bypass this last, well, almost a year ago. The 18th will be a
Mm.
year. And I've lost 178 pounds. And
Wow.
so,
Wow.
um,
Congratulations.
so
Wow.
I still have the tendency where my brain's like, no, I need to eat all this food. And I really don't. So I've had to rewire my brain. And this book has helped with that on that aspect too, because like now I think, okay, is this, does my body need this food, or is it just my brain saying I need this food when I really don't? Am I bored or am I hungry? And
Hmm.
so that's helped a lot on that aspect too. And like it's made me question a lot of things in my relationship and my relationship with friends and family and everything else around me. Thank you, Chris. It's just made me question a lot. So, and now it's making me rethink, do I need this person in my life? Are they toxic? Do they need to be in my life? And I've cut off a lot of people because they weren't helping benefit my life. They were dragging me down. And I
Wow.
my sister, I messaged her earlier today and I'm like, if you haven't read this book, The Orchid, you need to really read it because she's big on like inspirational books and stuff, self-help books, and I told her this book will, it's really beneficial and you should really read it. So she's going to be getting it on Kindle today.
All right.
That's amazing. It's funny. I was thinking too about what you said earlier about how more difficult is for women. I think, it's ingrained in the way we grow up. We don't have boys, we have girls. We have two girls. Well, they're women now, 20 and 17. But, you can observe, right? When a boy falls down the stairs or in the park, what do we say? Get up, keep going. No crying, keep it up, right? And if a girl does it, it's like, oh, baby, come here, mommy, come here to daddy. It's let me pamper you. And so I think those things get built into our psyche, our subconscious. And and that's just one of so many different experiences that drive us to be a certain way. So men get hit and it's like, oh man, like, oh, I'm okay. I'm not, I'm going to keep going because it doesn't hurt, although we're dying, right? But God forbid we admit it. And so I think those are the things that we need to revisit. And I love that you said, I am rewiring, reprogramming my brain because, we do that so often. We download it for our phones. Our cars sometimes these days require some download of some new software. And yet we think that as human beings, we can go on the rest of our lives and not rewire ourselves again. And I love that you're doing it. You're such a great example for anyone who's listening that it's possible, that it's not late. My mom is doing it at 74. It's really is possible.
I did it. For first time I was nice to me at 50.
Yeah.
And now that I see my girls being nicer to them, it's like that's why we need to pass this information to everyone there. For more people to begin to understand that doesn't matter what happened 5 seconds ago, is what we can do from now on. But if you have tools, you can really change the trajectory of where you are doing in the relationship with anyone. Believe me, Harley, Glenn, I was still working until yesterday the feeling of abandonment that I have in my life. So the challenge are for everyone. Everyone has different challenge, but if you know the tools and you know how to use it, because in the novel what the characters do is they inspire you to do a different point of view. So if you begin to see another point of view, you say, I, you know what, I want to do that, and if she can do it, I can do it, and if it's not so difficult. So this is the most important part, to understand that everyone has challenge, men and women. And remember, to women they say these stories for them to keep small. But the man has another stories to keep them be aggressive. Really, it's like a, you cannot cry, you cannot say anything, you cannot relate. And all those stories, what they are doing is really pull us apart of who we are. And what we want to do with the book is create these bridges between ourselves and how to find ourselves. When you have a couple and you read the book together and you begin to say, you know, let's begin to question, let's question everything. Let's begin to see what is the kind of relationship of experience that we want to have together. And then you begin to create that relationship that you want.
Yeah. My gosh, there's so much to talk about. I'm just so excited first to hear what you're sharing because it's just it's why we live now. It's to be able to touch someone else's life. And the beauty of the book, the way we decided that we wanted to write it, follows a wise saying that we live by, which is life is 10% what happens and 90% how you react. And so the book is written, as you know, is 10% is the story of these women, which are difficult stories. And by the way, everything about them is symbolic of Rocio's and my life. So I'll give you an example. Um, Stephanie, sexually abused. Rocio was sexually abused as an adult. I was sexually abused as a child, right? So we wanted to talk about that because we don't speak about it often enough. It's really important, and it's things that we keep tied up inside of us that ultimately become illness because we don't let them out. Olivia, highly successful, right? This woman just got off the podium at the United Nations and she's giving a speech. And the only thing that she can see is all the mistakes that she and her team made. And Rocio and I have been in throughout life really successful from a career point of view, but often like, oh no, that's not good enough. Oh, I need this.
It's not enough. Society keeps
right.
telling you that is not enough.
It's not enough. Or I'm not good enough.
Yes, it's not enough.
Then you have Jennifer, which we spoke about, right? She divorced 4 years ago. She is hitting rock bottom. She's not taking care of her kids well enough. She's failing at her job. Everything is crumbling apart, and she's unable to love herself. She even talks to herself really poorly, like you fat pig, you cow, all of these things, right? Then you have Nicole, who is gay and at 30 hasn't told her parents that she is. And in our case, it wasn't gender like you, but it was more the masks that all of us wear. We all wear masks because we want to belong. Oh no, I'm not going to tell them that, because if I tell them, they're not going to invite me to the party or to this or to that. And and then it was Sophia who's just angry. Sophia's like, don't mess with me. No one has done me any favors in my life. I am not going to yield to anybody's desire. I don't care. And, who hasn't been angry at having to fight for everything like we all have to? But the beauty is that these women go to this place and somebody teaches them how to love themselves again. And they teach them tools. And the beauty is that the tools are things you can do in the privacy of your own home, and that you can do, and you don't have to go to an expensive anything, right? And that was important to us, that you could read the book and say, oh, I just went to a retreat for 7 days with these amazing women and I feel a little bit different. And so I'm just so happy. I'm like super, super happy, Harley, of listening to you. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the book.
Oh my
She's
God.
building. Um, a lot of times, some of the issues you talk about are like PTSD, which little background on me: firefighter, paramedic,
Mm.
taken out of the job by a animal attack, and then the city just put me on the side, said you're just a number now. So medically retired. And then once I realized it was over, when I say it, I'm talking about my career. That is when all that trauma come rushing forward. And it was an actual emotional, physical minute in a doctor's office. I'm surprised they didn't commit me. Uh, but doctors are now so quick to, here, take a pill, here, do this. They don't want to try and teach you the coping skills or the mechanisms, or to give you even hope, usually, of how much better you can be. So it's always a struggle dealing with any trauma, but with you got emotional trauma, I don't know. I don't want to say it's worse, but you wear it a different way, if that makes any sense. You keep that more to yourself, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. You know, when my mom, at one point, she has 4 kids, and my father used to hit her and be cheating on her. And little by little, she lose herself in the relationship. Plus, my father continued to be a womanizer. So at one point, finally, she decides to stop being with him, and she moves to a household that we lost during the earthquake in Mexico in 1985. So from that moment, you have a woman who is depressed, lonely, with 4 teenagers who they are completely whack, and my mother didn't receive any help. No one knows how to treat somebody with a profound depression, and they don't have any tools around it. This happened 30 years ago. At the end, she died in 1992, and I was 20. For that moment, I have an option. So to leave or to really give up. So I try to give up. I really try. And at that point, for any reason, probably for the reason that we are talking today, I'm alive. So I finally found a way. It's not the way, it's one way to really release all the emotions that I was carrying inside of me. Because, for example, Angel, he was able to really let go the trauma, but I was not able. The trauma was stuck in my body. And until I begin to really put attention to the feelings when I cannot talk because I was choking for the emotion, I begin to understand that every thought create an emotion. And when you have an emotion inside of you, is your wound. And your wound, until you don't see it and remove it and heal it, is gonna stay there for the rest of your life. And that creates sickness. And you create from a place of lack. So I begin to heal myself in the moment, and I really put the oxygen mask like when you are in an airplane. And was for first time that I love myself, but only has 3 years. that I understand how important is to invest in ourselves. But of course, society is not going to tell you because it's a good business keeping people sick.
Yes.
Or because really, I was looking for the answers all the time out of me. I was looking for a companion for tell me that I was loved, that I deserved love. And then I was looking because I at one point I was depressed too, and people doesn't know what to do with you. So is this society who continues to send you this message, and we are so nice, all the humans in the planet, we believe that message. And until you begin to discover that no one is going to come to save us, we need
Yes.
to save ourselves. And in the moment that we begin to understand how to save ourselves, in that moment, nothing is more important than our own psyche, healthy body, healthy everything. Because really, the pharmaceuticals, they only give you a pill. The doctors, the new program is I'm only gonna see you for 50 minutes. And is all these things that are for profit, but not really for the benefit of the human. Really, we want to do the book because at one point we were able to do the course, the master, read 200 books to experience the healing, go to different persons, but every person charge you a lot of money.
Correct.
And it's how we can begin to see a different world if not everyone has the same language, the language of understanding, the language of I understand for what are you passing. Let's help each other. So
Yeah. In the comments here, real quick, so I get caught up. Chris says, my psychologist has been hammering the 10-90% concept into my head for over 5 years now. I actually have homework on that topic for my next session next month. Oh, good.
That's amazing.
Simon. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I have come to believe, and I joke about this with my daughters now, that actually that formula is wrong. That life is 0% what happens to you, and it's only about how you react to it, right? Because we all have these stories. We all have I got fired from my job for no reason or a reason that doesn't merit it. That, my relationships suck. I was abused, this, that. We all have it. And I think that what ends up happening is that because we have been trained to think that we are so weak as humans that we're like, and it's just been ingrained. Our grandparents, our parents are like, oh, poor you. Oh, are you going to be okay? And all of these things. And I know now that we think about it, it's like, oh yeah, it's true. They say that, and we don't think what it does to us, but it just keeps. And we go to the doctor, and now they say, well, I'm going to help you to, live with your disease and your illness. And it's like, no, I don't want to live with it. I want to get rid of it. And it's almost like everybody wants you to continue, as Rocio mentioned, being this sack of illnesses and issues and problems. But the truth is, and going to Chris is, and his comment, I believe that we're so powerful when we tap into that. That thing that you, Harley, are tapping into, that is changing you from inside, that's the power that we're after. That is just amazing because we all have it. And we don't, because we don't see it, we don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, we don't think it exists. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about paranormal later, but really, I think there's a really fine line between paranormal and the energy and the power that resides within a human being. And when you tap into it, things happen. And you're like, oh, where did I get that burst of energy to do this or to do that or to figure it out? And I just think it's wonderful. And we're in this new era of humans remembering. It's not even reinventing, it's not reimagining, it's remembering the power that lies inside. And I'll end this particular section by saying, we're reading a lot about the power of the heart. And there's organizations that have been studying it for decades. There's an institute called the Heart Math Institute, in which they've been doing science studies on the heart. And I believe that one of the things that happens is that we have disconnected our brains from our hearts. And because of that, we've lost our power, because it is in the unification of those two things. In fact, they found that there's more neurons going from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. And we've been either misled but at the very least, led to believe that the heart is really just a pump for blood, but it's so much more than that. And when you start connecting with it, right? Because when somebody says, oh, I need to find my strength. If you say, I want to find my strength to do this, and I need to make a decision, people don't say, well, have you decided in your head? No, what you end up saying is, what does your heart say?
Mhm.
And I think that's ancestral wisdom within us that we haven't forgotten, that the heart is really powerful. And when you tap into it, things begin to happen that sort of unveil the power that is within us. And it's so exciting, so exciting, because that's what we're tapping into.
And people around me have noticed, like, I've got more confidence here lately, and like I before this, I did not see the change in me. Like, I couldn't see, I was still seeing the heavy me, and now I'm starting to see the change that everybody else sees, but I did not see it until now. And now I'm starting to see it, and people around me are seeing the confidence there, and like it, they really see the big difference in me.
And how
Amazing.
do you feel about it?
Amazing.
What do you like most of it?
I like the fact that this may sound kind of, but before, okay, so as a female, when I was bigger, I was moved at by guys and girls and everybody. Now I actually notice when people are looking at me in a positive way, and I never noticed that before. And someone said, your confidence is why we're noticing you now. And I like that fact that people actually see me, not just
Mm.
see big me. They see me now.
Mm.
Well, I
See
told
this?
you a minute ago you were beaming.
So,
You really are.
yes.
See.
Amazing.
So,
Okay, see
Harvey,
this
that
was
is
me.
successful.
This was me last year.
Yes. Wow. Is another you.
I've lost a whole
Transformation.
person, and I'm starting to see it now. And
Wow.
like my daughter, she told me, she said, like, Mom, you're smaller than me now. And to begin with, I didn't see this. And last time she came into my house, she was like, you're just fading away. I'm like, no, I'm not. And now I really see it. And I like the rewiring my brain to feel better about myself and not constantly put myself down and think negative about me. Now every day I wake up and I'm like, I got this. I'm not the old me. I'm better. I'm let's go for the day and go head on to whatever challenges are coming. I've got this. And I used to not be like that. I used to, when I was at work and a negative situation happened, it used to really bother me. Now doesn't bother me as much. I mean, it does still because everybody has where negative situations at work. It bothers them, but I don't let it get to me as bad as it used to. Now I'm like, you know, tomorrow will be better.
Wow. You
Sure.
know, it's funny. I love what you,
Bravo.
yeah, no, congratulations. Incredible. I love what you said, and it's important for everyone who's listening. This that we are talking about, and certainly
No, they broke up.
you're down there and you can be tools that you can use on a daily basis because you will go on your knees once in a while. You will encounter that person who says an unkind word and hurts you a little bit. But all of a sudden, or you can get up. I get up once in a while, and right, and I tell Rocio, "Oh, something is off today. I'm angry or I'm heavy." Like I can put it now, I can kind of segment it and put it in a corner and say, I don't know what you are, but you are not me. That feeling that I am feeling is not who I am. I've seen who I am. I've seen me happy and I've experienced me happy enough times now to know that that feeling is not who I am. And so if you're able to do that and put it on sort of look at it, then that becomes something you can work with because you say, interesting. Why am I angry? Oh, whatever it is, right? Because we all have different reasons. But all of a sudden, you now are able to confront it. You're able to, whatever. And normally, 9 out of 10 times, you give it love. And what I mean by love is, oh, you'll be okay. It's okay to feel angry about the fact that you didn't get the raise at work. Or it's okay to feel angry about, whatever, or sad about this or that. But don't give it all your energy. Don't be there for 3 months. Give it some time, maybe even put a time limit on it, right? Okay, you have until 6 p.m. today to be sad. And even and start having those conversations with yourself and things begin to change because you start to take control of your emotions, control of all these things that people say, oh, nothing can be controlled. I don't think that anymore. I think
Well,
we're really
see,
powerful.
with me, see, I walk to and from work. That's my time to decompress.
Hmm.
My thing is, whatever happens at work, I leave it at work because I don't want to bring that negativity into my house and my children feel that negativity. And like I'll tell them, give me 5 minutes to unwind, and then we'll go from there. And I have a story for you. Okay, so last week this lady came through my job and she was very, very angry. Apparently, this is her words when she came back today. She she had just screamed at me to begin with, like completely screamed at me, cussed me out, called me a liar, and it was really horrible situation. I handled this very calmly and I was like, I am very sorry that you feel this way and I hope whatever is bothering you, you could let it go and have a very good day. Well, she came back through the drive-through today because I have two jobs. I'm an office manager at H&R Block and I'm due temporary work at Arby's. So she came back through today and she was like, the other day when you told me that you hope whatever I had going wrong, I'd let it go and have a very good day, that really made my day. And I was going through a very lot of that time and she was crying to me and she was like, I really appreciate those kind words from you. And she was like, I don't know what made you say those kind words to me. I was like, well, I've read a book here lately and it's changed me. And I was like, it made me rethink how I talk to people because I never know what they're going through and what I say could impact them. If I say something horrible to them and they're having a horrible day, it could impact them negatively and then it could come back badly. I've never been the type to say negative things, but this she said that it really helped her, and because of this book, it makes me question how I talk to people. I'm not like I've never been very rude. I've never been a rude person, but when people yelled at me, I did kind of get snappy and I did kind of get rude back. But
It
that's
happens.
human nature right there.
Yeah,
But
of
now
course.
I think about it. I think about what I say before I say it to people because of the fact that I never know what they're going through. And she told me that that day that she came through, her husband died.
Oh gosh.
And
Oh my God.
not that day, but a couple days before that. And with him
Yeah.
passing, she got evicted from her apartment because she lost
Oh
his
my
income. And she was trying to move in with her friend. And she said, me telling her that, hopefully, me saying what I said to her really made her day better. And she was like, she's never had anybody tell her that they hope things get better for them and that the way that I talked to her and didn't
God.
react to her for being so rude. I was like, well, I've learned how to rethink things and how to not be so rude to people. Well, I've never been rude, but not to snap at people because I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what's causing them to act this way. And she was very appreciative of
Oh my
how
God.
I talked to her. And she was bawling. And like my manager was standing there and she was listening to the lady bawl to me because she came in the front counter and asked for the lady with the red and black hair. And I to begin with, I'm like, um,
She's not here.
kind of not really wanting to go up there because I don't want to know she's going to yell at me
Yes,
again.
of
Oh my
And
course.
she
God.
was like, "No, no, it's nothing negative," and she's just bawling, and my manager's like, "What's is there a problem?" And she's like, "No, no, I just wanna tell you that she's a really
Hmm.
good employee. This lady really helped me through a really hard day, and she didn't even know she was helping me." And so that this
Oh
book
my
really has helped me think about how I
Well,
talk to people.
and I want you two to know she hasn't even told me any of this. So, and we
Oh
talk
my
daily.
God.
So,
Well, no, the lady just came in today, and that was this morning she came in and did
Oh
this.
my God. I hear all this and I don't know what I'm more excited about. The impact you had on the lady or the fact that a screaming lady did not impact you. That which means of the incredible healing that is taking place inside of you to be where you are and be able to look, what you remind me, and we use this as an example, the movie Matrix, because we
mhm.
say that the movie Matrix, right? It's all about when he puts his hands up and the bullets can touch him.
Put it here.
The bullets can't touch him because he is more powerful than the bullets, than the Matrix. That's what you did. You put your
Mhm.
energy up and you didn't let unkind words, anger reach you. And not only that, you were able to turn it around and impact somebody's life. Because imagine what could have happened if you had snapped on that lady. Maybe she goes and, I don't know, has an accident because she gets so angry. It doesn't matter, right? It didn't happen. Congratulations, and really amazing for the lady. But Harley, go like this and like take a victory lap
Yes.
I mean,
because that's incredible.
it's the book has really helped me because I have a very difficult boss. Very, very difficult. Like she's been transferred to 4 different locations because of how difficult she is. This is her 4th store she's been at. They can't keep employees because of her. And like it going to work, I when I'd see her car before the reading this, I would just dread going in there. Now I'm like, you know, she's going to be how she's going to be, and there's nothing I can do to help it. And I'm just going to let her do her thing, and I'm going to do mine and not let her mood affect me, because how she acts is not going to make me angry or bring me down. Like my supervisor, his supervisor comes through and does secret shops, and we have this annoying little thing we have to say. And I'm the only person who he actually enjoys to hear it from now. And like he wants to have me record the greeting for them to have that as what people hear, because I'm so pleasant from what the reviews say here lately. And people are noticing I'm very pleasant and they like that. And even
Wow.
on our Google reviews, there was one that they saw 3 days ago where they were saying how the drive-through girl is very pleasant. Well, I'm the only person on drive-through, so they've noticed that I'm more pleasant. And well, I've never been unpleasant, but I don't get down as easy, because
Oh my
I
God.
used to get really, like, I'd come to work and I'd see her and I'd be like, "Oh, this day is gonna be very long." And now I'm like,
Harley,
"You know what? I hope you have a good day. Let's just make this the day."
Harley, do you feel the power of being you?
Yes, I'm excited to go back to my job, that because I work at H&R Block with the, like, I'm the office manager, and I work with a bunch of little old ladies, and I love my little old ladies to death. I've worked with these little old ladies for, this is my 4th or 5th year with them. It's the same woman, and I'm excited to go back and spread positivity to them, because I have one. She's a cranky little old lady. She really is, and I love her to death, but she's cranky. But she's very popular with our clientele. They love her even though she's very cranky. Like, it makes me wanna buy each of them a copy of this book as their welcome back gift and say, "You know what? Each of you get to read this book. That's your task."
We can do a book club,
We'll be happy to.
a,
Exactly.
a book club together. And at one point, I'm going to bring, I'm friends with the authors. We can bring them together. And that excuse can help everyone to understand that at the end, if they have anything they're carrying them, they can really see and transform. This is Harley, Sportcat. This is the real alchemy. It's the alchemy of our own emotions, of
Yeah.
our own ideas. And when you begin to do this alchemy and begin to see your power little by little and begin to use it, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
So congratulations again. Really
Incredible.
is yes.
Glenn, what are you thinking of all this? Because you were saying, this is the first I hear of some of this.
Yeah, it's the first here, and I told y'all she really is beaming. She smiles a lot more. She's not going to tell you I had to coax her on tonight. She was having a bad day, and I'm like, look, you need this. This is what you need tonight. Listen to me. Just listen to what I'm saying, because I knew how important it was to her. And I want to circle back to something that you said, something they taught us in the fire academy. You may be pinned down in a burning building by yourself, all alone. You've got very little air left. You don't know which way is out. There's no one coming to save you. You have to save yourself.
Yes.
Don't give up. And that's one of the things in the fire academy. Beth, Mrs. Sportcat, says they made me invincible, but they teach you. You don't ever give up, no matter what. Don't ever give up. And I mean, down to your dying breath, literally. And so that was one of the most powerful things that we've been taught. And by you saying that, it enforces it, gives it more power. And back to your point, words do have meaning, because like she was just kind. And of course, as a paramedic, they train us in this, some of the psychological stuff, but and we just kind of bounce it off. But some days it's not easy, but you don't know what kind of bad day they're having, so you have to use your power of your words, especially like in an emergency. If you show up like me, you're in that position of power where you're the voice of authority, and you're like, oh geez, if I say something stupid here we go. So you have to think about that stuff. But I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent, but that really was a lot when she said that no one's coming to save you. It's so true in almost any situation in life. You've got to save yourself, and you have the energy to do it yourself. You may not realize it, but tap in there, dig in, the gut, the heart, whatever it is, pull it out. Let's get through this together. So yeah.
Yeah, that connection. Go ahead, please.
No, I was just gonna say, she really Harley, she really was having a bad day. And I told her, I said, no, you're gonna do this. So and now she's smiling. Look at her. So
Yes, I had family issues before this show. And see, a little backstory. My husband is he's got mental health issues. He's a disabled veteran, and he has breast cancer. So his mental health issues doesn't always make him the very pleasant person to be around, because he's bipolar and he flips moods and yells a lot. And so it was a bad day for him. So it became a bad day for me.
Of course.
And so I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a good day. And then he's like, no, you need to. You need this today. And so things are better now.
Thank you for sharing that.
I mean, and see, I'm autistic. And so with me, I really have had to rewire my brain here lately, because normally I don't stop and think before I say, because that's one thing with autism. You don't have that filter to where, maybe I shouldn't say this. You just kind of let whatever's in your brain come right out, and you don't really think, well, maybe that's not the proper thing to say, because, and now I really think before I say whatever's on my brain. Now I'm like, okay, let's not say that. Let's reword it to where it's not that harsh. Because I can't be very harsh, because, well, I was raised down south with a lot of very brute men. I was the only girl. So, yeah, a lot of brute southern men who were rednecks, and that's how they talked. So now
You just said it like it had to be said.
And so now I rethink everything. Before I say it, I think about it. And then I I've done started doing this whole, okay, let's wait 5 seconds after whatever comes in my head before I say it. And then think about it before I say it. Is that really what needs to be said? Or can something else be said in place of that, that's not as harsh and more kinder than the harsh words? Because the harsh words isn't always what needs to be said.
Wow. You're like super Harley.
I was going to say,
I mean, and I've got I've got 4 children. I have a daughter, she's 21, and she's in college. She's about to graduate from, I'm in Ohio. She's graduating from Tri-C, which is our community college, and going to Cleveland State. And she just got awarded, I didn't tell you this, she just got awarded a $2,000 grant for her grades on top of her financial aid for the school that she's going to at Cleveland State. She's going to be doing speech pathology and American Sign Language to work in the school system.
Good.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I will be giving her this
Congratulations.
book because I think this book might help her because of that. But she's doing very good. Like that's my big pride and joy there because she works full time, has her own apartment, and I've done good with her. Okay, I've got 3 boys. I love them to death, but they're lazy. They're very lazy.
How old are they?
Yeah.
My oldest son will be 19 next in December, and then I've got a 15. Well, he'll be 15 on the 30th, and then my youngest will be 14 on December 1st. And
Hmm.
they're all lazy, but they're autistic and like they're not as driven as my daughter is. And like I see with them, we were harder on her than we have been on them. And
Hmm.
it's not so much me as it is my husband because I've treated them all the same thing. I've set the same expectation for all of them. I've told them emotions, you have them, share them, don't hold them back, be who you are. And that's how I've raised all my kids. And they're not as driven as her. And so I'm trying to figure out how to change their way of thinking now because, well, I'm changing my way of thinking. They need to change their way of thinking. They need to
Hmm.
be more driven to accomplish what their sister is doing. Not necessarily what she's doing, but their own path in life, not
I
what
love
they're
that.
doing now, because what they're doing now is not necessarily going to work.
Hmm. Well, as you know from the book, the last lesson that is taught at the Orchid is intention. And so I hear it in everything you just said that there is this intention. It was like, okay, I'm making change in my life. We're going to make some changes in our lives too. And so I think it's already there and it's fantastic that it's at the center. And that you're doing it from this place, right? Of a more loving, just existence for yourself. And it's inevitable that they're going to benefit from that more loving existence and experience that you're having with yourself.
Let me jump in here for a minute and push a button to give our station time to do their radio, whatever it is they do. So let me push a button here real quick, and we will be back with hour 2.
Watch your radio turn gold. The sound that shakes your soul.
Buckle up for another wild ride. Bold takes, sharp commentary, no filters. It's Sportcat's Daily Gazette. Overnights, only on Radio X Gold.
Radio X Gold, where memories unfold.
And welcome back to hour 2. We've all but broke out the couch for Harley there. I loved it when she said, "How does that make you feel?" I was like, "Yep, okay, here comes the shrink." And she won't admit it, but if you're a comic book fan, you know who Harley Quinn is in Batman. That's who she likes to say she is a lot of times, but she's not really. That's her persona. It's her public persona. But she has been making changes, and like you were saying, rewiring, and that made your metaphor for, we update our software, we update our cars, whatever, but we don't update this. It's like the same stuff that was stuck in there since middle school or whatever. So I like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that I discovered that for me was a game changer. Is I discovered that I have inside of me 2 personalities. So it's what they call the ego and the free mind. So my ego, my insecurities, my fears was controlling my life. And in the moment that I was able to begin to see that the ego, my insecurities, the fear, the sadness was controlling my life, and my other part, my free will, my loving, begins to see that part and send love, unconditional love, and understanding myself, understanding how we work, because we have is this is our bodies, right? The physical body, the mind, the emotional body, the inner child, and the connection with something, right? So when you are like this, you are not aligned. So little by little, you need to begin to have a conversation with one part of all of them. So I finally was able to really align my think, my talk, my feelings, my actions, and this part who is free, joy, and at one point creates for a place of understanding and for abundance, begins to see when this part want to take over, and it's like a no, I'm gonna take those 2 minutes to really see you, understand that you are really going through that energy, but that energy is not really me. So I've been sending this love, and the difference that has been doing in my life is incredible. For example, this one is more free, and this one is more insecure. So at the end, what I want to say, I'm like Harley, this like the Harley Quinn who has two personalities. The personality of very insecure, very victim, because I love to play in the victim. But at one point I understand that the victim doesn't gonna take anywhere. So I begin to play the powerful Rocio, the free, and now that I able to see this different, the freedom that I experience is incredible. Believe me, I was never going to be able to have a conversation in a podcast in English because it's my second language, you see, and to try to explain all this, and then to say in front of everyone that I tried to kill myself, that I was abused, sexually abused, that they abused me physically, verbally, and well, you begin to understand that, that happened, but that doesn't define me. And in the moment that you can do that and let go the story of the I'm not my mother, so I don't need to live the life of my mother. I'm Rocio, and I need to begin to understand how I want to experience for myself a harmony. Because what I discover is I feel better when this part who was out of harmony, when I put it there and then I send the love, I found that place that is only mine, and is that quiet where I have fun with myself, is what I wish more people can be in that place after having traumatic experience, and really this the ego or that personality that is broken and shattered can feel safe being with the other person, my other me, to send them love, then this has been a game changer. And and really, when I was able to create that place in me, that place in me is incredible. Yes.
That is incredible. And you said it didn't happen until you were 50. Is that correct?
Until I was 50.
And I would have never believed you were 50, but okay. I'll take your word for it.
53.
I feel like the old man in the room. So I guess my question is, if somebody's listening right now and they can't call in or join the chat or whatever, and they're feeling like this is it, this is they're done, their day is done, they're gonna self-inflict harm, uh
Mm.
what powerful words could you have for them? Because one thing I have learned through this medium is we, through the voice, even because we go out more places audio than we do video, um, we have power with our words. And
We do.
what would you say to a person that was down in that spot and it's like, this I'm never going to get out of this?
I will, right now, for example, something that helped me to break the spell of victimhood in that moment was, you know, I'm gonna have a good moment right now. I don't know what is gonna be tomorrow. I don't know what is gonna happen in 5 seconds. But right now, I'm choosing to breathe and to stay and to really begin to see what is the good thing that is happening in my life. Begin to focus all my attention of where is the good part here. And remember that guy who wrote A Man's Search for Meaning, who was in the concentration camp,
Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl. And at one point, is like, what is the good part right now in this moment when everyone around me is dying? And is the sun that is really touching my skin. So gratitude is a superpower. So if you begin to focus on what is good right now, wherever you are, really, really can make a change, profound change in this moment.
Very good. You get something you want to toss in there? You kind of got that look. So
I would double down on gratitude. And gratitude is highly misunderstood. And we think that giving thanks is all there is, right? And we've been conditioned to that. But there's something that happens when you experience it, when you really start to allow yourself to enter into the energy of gratitude. And it's got to be different for everybody, but it could be your cat, it could be your dog, it could be your children, it could be whatever it is. I don't know, a drink, water, juice, whatever. Hot, warm, hot coffee in the morning, whatever it is, find something to be grateful for. In fact, we have an exercise. So if you're this person who's listening right now and you're like at the end of your rope and it's like, enough, I can't put up with this anymore, we invite you to do the following. Literally sit down somewhere, breathe, take a few deep breaths, because a lot gets fixed by putting more oxygen into our bodies and into our brain. So let's just start by, yes.
And you begin to connect the brain with the heart, and you put your two fingers,
yes, and on
in
your
your
heart,
heart.
on your heart, and start saying, I am grateful for. All of us have some things to be grateful for, whatever that is. I'm grateful for my fingernails. I'm grateful for this conversation. I'm grateful for the old lady who's a little bit naggy, but she brings me, I don't know, sugar, whatever it is that we're grateful for. And keep that up. Keep that up for a few minutes if you can. Longer, if you can go longer, do it. But I am grateful for this. I am grateful for that. I am grateful for that. And at some point, and it's different for everybody, it depends how challenging is the situation in front of you. But at some point, you hear like a shifting of energy, a shifting, because gratefulness, it's so powerful that it starts expanding inside of you. And as it expands, it pushes that old feeling, that other feeling away and out. So focus on gratitude, but focus it like really almost scientifically. This is the pill, the magic pill that the doctor recommended. Imagine that gratitude is that. I'm going to take this pill and I'm going to practice it for the next 3 to 5 minutes. I am grateful for, and I promise you, you will start feeling a slight change that all of a sudden it makes you feel a little bit different. And if that's the case, then try doing it twice a day, 3 times a day, for a few minutes at a time, and experience that. And allow yourself the space to go a little bit longer each time. It can start with 30 seconds, it could go for a minute, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and maybe you'll find yourself at some point doing it for 7 to 10 or 15 minutes. It will change your life. And this is not something you have to pay anybody for. You don't have to do it. You can do it in the privacy of whatever space you find yourself in. All you have to do is close your eyes and imagine. And if you can say it out loud, great. But if not, imagine it in your head, the words, and it will make a difference.
It does. It does. And I like the way you say it. It makes it swell up and push the others out. So push that other feeling out.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. Because you never know. I do a radio show, and somebody sent a message to the station and said, just listening to him be stupid for 2 hours, this guy, helped me get through the night. And I said, well, good. Tell him to listen to another 2 hours because I'll be just as stupid next time. So
Yeah, you never know what people are going through in
Yeah.
life. Like, okay, so last month, last month on, was it the 12th or the 13th? The 12th. I had to think back. I went out of town for my birthday, and I was wearing this hoodie that on the back of it said, "Dear person behind me, you are worth it. You deserve to be here." And had like the semicolon on it, and it said, "Make every day worth it." And it had a whole big thing on it. And the lady behind me, and I didn't realize, well, I knew I put the hoodie on that morning, but my brain was elsewhere, and it was my plane was delayed, and Glenn already knows I was having a bad day at the airport because my plane was big time delayed. And well, everyone knows how frantic the airport is. And the lady behind me
Yeah.
taps me on my shoulder and she's like, "Thank you." And I didn't put two and two together. She was like, "I needed that." And like later on when I got to my Airbnb, I took my hoodie off and I'm like, "Oh, that's what she was saying thank you for." And so it's one of those, you never know what the person behind you, in front of you, around you are going through, and positive words and sweatshirts or whatever does make a lot in today, because with everything going on in society nowadays, there's so much negativity, and
Yeah.
positive word can go a long way to a person.
Yeah.
Also, a negative word can too. Negative
Yeah.
word can go a very long, bad way for all we know. Because, like,
You,
after rethinking my brain, retraining my brain to think, I always think now, is this negative word that's in my head going to make this person have a really bad day?
Wow.
Is it going to make them go and pass that negativity onto somebody else? Because it's a string of events. One negative word could make 4 or 5 different negative things happen, because
Right.
I say this
synergy.
negative thing to this person and this person, you never know what it's going to lead to, because for all we know, by the end of that negative string, it's going to lead to somebody doing something horrible.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
if we
energy
say
to that. It's
positive things,
improving.
it could lead to positive impacts and change somebody's day down that line. Like I was always told growing up, a smile could go a long way. And it, as an adult, I see that. Like I've seen negative people, like people come through and they be very angry, and I'll smile at them and be positive. And here lately, I've noticed more their mood changes right then and
Yeah.
there. And people need that. They really do.
Yeah.
And with today's society and with all the struggles and hardship, it changes a lot.
Yes.
Like me, okay, we're on fixed income, and yesterday was Veterans Day. And so this little guy who was a veteran, he had his hat on. I paid for his breakfast, well, his lunch that day because, well, it's
Hmm.
Veterans Day. My husband's a veteran. Why not do something positive for someone else?
Oh,
And
beautiful.
the little old man just came in to get his free sandwich, but I bought him lunch for the day. That was all he had that day to eat was what I bought him and his free sandwich. He said he didn't know where he was going to get his dinner from because his benefits got cut off because of the government shutdown. He hadn't received his money this month, so he didn't know where
Mm.
he was going to get his dinner from. And me buying his lunch for him, that made him, it really, he was emotional about it because he didn't know where he
Of
was going to get his
course.
dinner. He was going around to all the places that give veterans free things to try to get food for a couple days.
Yeah.
And most veterans yesterday, that's what they were doing because of the fact that they
Yeah.
don't know where they're, like, how long the shutdowns ended, and for
Right.
not, it's ended, but it hasn't ended. They still haven't got their benefits for this month. And some of the veterans, that's how they feed themselves is through the SNAP benefits and
Mhm.
their disability checks and Social Security. And veterans don't get very much benefits. I know from experience. They
Right.
don't really get much, and the Social Security, they don't get much either. So after they paid their bills, the SNAP benefits is how they survive, and that really helped him.
Hopefully
And
that's
he,
all
so
ended about
one
15
caught
minutes ago. So,
one positive thing helped one person feel positive about themselves that day.
Harley, I'm amazed of the amount of people that you are touching.
Yes.
When you tell me, Glenn, about a psychic experience, right now I'm seeing Harley, how all her interactions has been from a positive way, and how that is really having a psychic action real for different people and different moments. You see, she's affecting her family, her first herself, her family, the co-workers, the boss, people who they don't know, and they feel moved, so moved that they want to come back to say thank you.
yes.
Thank you because you did my day. So when people ask me, do you have psychic experience? I can tell you yes. But I see what Harley is doing like a miracles. Is what
I
I
agree.
call is what I call, oh my God, that's a miracle. How one person is touching so many lives because she understands her power. Wow.
And is intentional about it. Yeah, it's pretty special. In fact, when we went to commercials and we went on mute, we said to each other, today's miracle, meeting you guys. Why? Because now we look for them. We look for the magic that's taking place in our lives.
Every day.
Every day something happens, whether it's conversations like this one, or I kid you not, we say, oh my gosh, what do you think about? And all of a sudden the phone will ring, because it's almost like once you're connected in that energy, right? You really start to impact things around you, which is not unlike the whole gratitude exercise that we spoke about a few minutes ago. It's just, it starts to change. And that's, I believe, in many ways, is when we start breaking out of our physical realm that we're so used to, and we enter into an energetic realm that we've called paranormal or psychic or until now, because we're really so into our physical world that we don't see that beyond us, but it's all around us. And certainly is it's beautiful to watch, and it's possible for everybody. It's just not something just that Harley is experiencing. We all can experience that. And
Glenn, when you are doing your jokes,
yes,
and people are listening to you and they laugh and it's like a help me to go lighter.
yeah,
All that is so beneficial really for everyone, that really I'm a comedian in the closet. I want to go out one day, but really
true.
is because through laugh more people can heal, and it's less laugh together of the stupidity and all the suffering that we are carrying every day, to really laugh about how serious we take life and how serious, and all this is so intense. Like, no, let's chill, let's let's have fun, let's enjoy this ride, this journey, because it's tiny. Life is very short, so let's have fun together. So I love that we can laugh together.
Yeah,
You only have one life to live,
Mhm.
so live it to the fullest.
That's
live it
right.
to the fullest.
I got when I was a brand new, I was an EMT at the time. They used to make us go in for psychological evaluations every few months. I don't know, to make sure we were okay. You're not okay if you're in emergency services. It's true.
Right.
You're just not. And so I was having a day, and I was like, I'm being pulled into this damn office. We got to tell this guy what we feel. And he says, so you're pretty new. I said, yeah. He says, well, tell me about your job. And I said, well, that's pretty simple. I said, we intermingle in people's nightmares daily for fun. Yeah, that got me a week off. So I could go talk to the guy and sit on the couch. I was like, what the hell is
Send this
that?
guy home
Yeah.
immediately.
There's something wrong with this guy. So yeah, I got called back in for reinforcement counseling to make sure I was okay. But I was like, look, you go in and you see these things, you can't unsee them. I mean, there's no way to unsee some of the things you're seeing, and you can't let them carry you. And I took later in my career, I took it's called a critical incident stress management class, where you learn to deal with the incident and tuck it away nice and neatly. And I think you earlier said something about putting it in a box. We always referred to each call, every time you go out to help somebody, that energy or whatever, it's pair of socks. Put that pair of socks in your drawer and don't worry about it. Well, the problem is one day you're going to have too many socks to put in that drawer.
Yeah.
And they're going to go everywhere. So that's when you have to take the time and unpack and unravel everything, rather than wait till that acute time. Like you were saying earlier, we're the guy, nothing affects us, blah, blah, blah. That was me. Unpack it and take care of yourself, take care of the issues, and try and move on. And don't give that sock energy. But it's hard, especially in emergency services, because you see so much stuff. So it's hard, and you do have to time to tuck it away. One thing you were talking about earlier, talking about emotional brings physical. I didn't notice this while I was on duty. We do 24 hours on and 48 hours off. For 24
How long were
hours,
you in duty? How long were you in duty for?
24 hours. Yeah.
No, but how many years? How many years?
Oh God, 30 some years.
Wow.
A lifetime. So I would notice I come, and we used to, she was talking about this earlier, when you walk home, we used to always try and say, drive home, but leave everything behind. And a lot of us picked up the habit of wherever we worked was an hour away. So we could decompress before we get there and decompress on the way home. And I never noticed this until after it was all done with. Besides for the physical exhaustion the first day, because some days you're up for 24 hours, the sickness. And your body is pushing it out, whether it's the dreams, the diarrhea, upset stomach, irritability. Your body is pushing out everything it absorbed. And then the next 24 hours, you're trying to rest so you can do it all again. I never noticed that pattern until it stopped. And I was actually telling my wife about that the other day. I said, I'm not as sick as I used to be. Because, I don't have that. I mean, there's still negative energy around, but I don't have that acute negative energy around. And I still process things, the dreams, but so I never noticed that, but you're right. The brain will rewire and try and get it out in an illness, a manifestation. You're absolutely right about that. So sorry.
It's the
I rambled.
subconscious. It's the subconscious what brings the things that we don't know. And one of the ways is dreams, and another ones are here and we don't know. So they're gonna come up when maybe you are walking next to a lake. They come when you don't have idea.
I used
And
to get like really bad migraines because I used to let everything bother me.
That's true.
And
mm,
Glenn knows there up until here recently, I would be in bed for days with migraines because I would let everything get to me.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the last month, since the beginning of October, I haven't had a single migraine.
Wow.
Did you just notice that?
Yeah, I just now noticed that because
Wow.
since the beginning of October, I have not had a single migraine.
There you go.
Not at all. And I
Oh,
just
wow.
now noticed that. I'm like, I used to have migraines bad all the
Did you
time.
do the Harley?
Oh my gosh, Harley. Yeah, let me just say something first. Wow, again. We had a friend of ours who had a kidney transplant. We were having this conversation. She actually helped us with the book. She's a poet, and she helped us with the Spanish version of it, blah, blah, blah. And after a while, she just in a conversation like this one, we weren't in a podcast, but just a conversation, she goes, "Oh my gosh." We're like, "What?" "I haven't gone to the doctor in a year." And she attributed it to the changes that had taken place in her lifestyle, in her experience, reading the book and saying, and the whole point is that when you start to address it and those things bubble up and you find a way for them to exit, they no longer create the pressure in your life that led to the other stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a friend slash doctor who is a chiropractor, and he's a shaman, and he cleanses people of energy and so on. And he tells us, he says, "I ride horses multiple times a week, hard, because the horse cleanses my body of the energy that I absorb during these treatments that I give people." And so the problem is that if we don't realize it, we'll turn to alcohol, we'll turn to food, we'll think of other people as punching bags, and shopping. And it's not our fault. We're just trying to get rid of this energy. And sometimes we do it in the most unhealthy, unhelpful, and damaging ways. But if we so little become conscious of it, then again, awareness is key. It's like, I need to get rid of this energy. Frankly, it's almost like make it into a request to God, to the universe, to whatever you believe in, and say, help me get rid of this in a healthy way.
Yes.
I need to let this go.
These are the words, and that's why they are so important, because you are making a decreto.
Like yes, a credo, I can't think of this word in Spanish.
Decoration.
Like an statement.
Yeah, like a declaration. Thank you.
Declaration.
Thank you, Harley.
True.
You're making a declaration that it's very real to you. I need help getting rid of this. And there's something that happens inside of you when you say, this is who I am and this is me. It's almost like a command that you're putting out there around you, right? Many people, it's like, oh yeah, the moment I said this ain't happening anymore, it kind of stopped.
Mm-hmm.
That's how powerful we are with a word. The same is true when we decide to let something go. So letting something go and saying that I am going to let it go is as important as the process itself. It's where the door opens up. And sometimes we may not even know how to, but the world around us, the universe around us gives us the answers and the way forward. And all we have to do is kind of be aware. Oh, interesting. I asked
Take
for
the
help.
invitation.
Take the invitation. Ask for the help and it shall be delivered.
I absolutely love you guys' website for the Orchid book, how it has your little backstory on it. And I love the backstory right there itself. Guys, you should go read their backstory on the orchidbook.com. It is amazing. It goes into details about them as who they are, and they're wonderful humans, just them and their self. I mean, it takes wonderful humans to produce a book like this.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you for your
much.
kind words.
Thank you so much. Do you know that at one point he has the glass full and I have the glass empty, and I was the woman and he was Mary?
Yeah. So when we wrote the book, it just for me it came very easy to be the role of Mary, which is the wisdom, we can do this. They put it down, and Rocio was all the women, all the pain, and it was interesting because men are told so often, hold it in, swallow it, don't cry. So we lose touch with our emotions. And the truth is, I believe we're as emotional as women. It's just over time
Sometimes,
we've been
if not
trained not
more
to be.
emotional than us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words.
There were
They're
days
very
I would
moving.
come home from being on duty after having a bad shift, might run a bad kid call or something. And my wife, she was a nurse in the OR. I would come in and unplug the kids' alarm clocks because I was like, they're not leaving the house today.
Yes.
And my wife's like, is there something wrong? I'm like, no. She goes, okay, kids' alarm clocks are unplugged and you're sitting out here watching TV with a thing of Jack. It's 10 in the morning. I'm like, well, it was a bad night. So she's like, okay, we got to talk. And yeah, you're right. We do get more emotional, I think. I
Yeah.
really believe that. So, okay.
And imagine if you are telling the men don't to be emotional or don't to be fragile. So really that creates this expectation that is not real.
Mhm.
And really that's why we need these bridges to really create understanding between peers and to really break with the cycle of poverty, of the cycle of sadness, or any cycle that you want to break. We need to break it. And if you do it with more people begin to understand your language, how you say it, what do you mean, and they begin to understand themselves. And you understand that it's not your responsibility, the well-being, but you can help them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to change this up a little bit.
Yes.
Because we want to talk about some paranormal. So,
Yes.
first off, do you believe in the paranormal? And then secondly, have you had any experiences, whether it's with a ghost, saw the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, anything like that? This is the fun part.
This is what you enjoy most, right? No,
Well,
because it's super fun. I love, believe me, when I was in Mexico, I was asking people, did you saw the chupacabras? It's like a tell me the truth. And people, of course, they don't say it. But at one point, let me tell you, at one point I was, you tell them how we met.
So, look, I mean, obviously, paranormal has a range, right? And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I'm okay not having it, but I've never had an encounter with, a ghost, for example.
And they've been sending us message.
But throughout our lives, even before we became as aware as we are now. So go back to we've been together 25 years, but before, right? There was this lady in Spain that a friend of mine, his family would visit, and they called him the witch. And she was the witch because she could read tarot, and she grew up and at 16, she took a tarot deck and started writing on it. And this was the cards that she would read cards with for the rest of her life. And I met with her in Spain way before I met Rocio. And she goes, that woman you're with, that's not her. The woman you're going to be with changes colors of hairs many times. I'm like, oh, okay. So whatever, right? Fast forward a year. And then we start dating. Or no, we kiss.
We kissed for the first time.
For the first time. The first thing that happened is her mom showed up to her.
My mom passed away many years ago.
Like a decade before.
No, 20
years before.
I don't know, many years.
Yeah.
Many years. So at one point, my mom,
after the kiss,
she used to communicate with me, okay? But at one point, I'm in a pyramid in Mexico, and after the first kiss, the next day, and I sit down like a meditate, and I feel like a blow of wind, and it's the image of my mother saying, "Is him? You found him." And it's like, what? Are you sure? Are you sure it's this one? Because I don't want to kiss more frogs. And it's like, is this one?
I don't want
And
to kiss
it's-
more frogs.
Oof. And that was for my part, and for
And
you.
then about 6 months later, my friend comes to Mexico, and I say, hey, how's the witch? Because she was like a friend of the family by now. He goes, oh, I forgot to tell you. She tells me you found her. So all of a sudden, that was kind of our first real, like really solid, right? Proof of something beyond that we just.
That was sending a message like, okay, now you found him. Okay, you believe. And all these little crumbs that has been the paranormal drops on us to make us really believe that something out there is beyond my understanding.
I'll give you another. So that's one, and that's kind of on the lighter side. Let's go a step heavier than that. So we went on a holiday here on the west coast of California. Our daughters were, I don't know where, traveling. And we said, why don't we just go up the coast and stay in an Airbnb or something? So on our way back, there was an accident. A car hit a deer and two cars stopped, right next to each other. They didn't hit anything. I think they might have hit the deer, but everybody was fine. And my car stopped right in the middle. And I looked at the rear view mirror, and immediately I see a truck or big lights coming towards us. So I step on the gas and I get out of it. The truck hits the other two cars, and
one passed in front of us.
Oh, the other car
and
passed
the
in
other
front of
one
us.
in the back. and it's like an accident that we didn't have any scratch.
Right? Nothing. So eventually, by the way, Glenn, I mean, you'll find this interesting. An ambulance was what hit the car that was next to us. They
Wow.
couldn't stop on time, whatever. And when I get off, one of the paramedics tells me, just go. There's nothing you can do. We got it all under control. Just leave. We're okay. But the other people were hurt. So fast forward a few weeks, and we have a friend who communicates with people who have transcended to other lives, right? Who have passed away. And we know her.
So I go to a session
With her.
myself. So I'm there, and she says, "Who is Tomás?" And it's like, I don't have idea who's Tomás. Tomás is the grandfather of Angel.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he protects you for the accident. And for me was, what? So this is another example. Oh, I went to see another person who helps you with angels and things like that.
Mhm.
So I'm there, and she say, okay, I'm gonna work with you and the angels and everything. And I was, okay, perfect. And she said, by the way, your mom is here. And it's like, really? Yes. And she's saying that your new car is fantastic. And I was, what? Yes, my new car is fantastic. So all these things has been happening,
With your mom, you've had a lot of contacts with your mom
Yes.
throughout your life after she
Yes.
passed.
Yes, a lot. Like she was an energy who was protecting me for a long time until I found myself until the 50s, and then I think she
Okay,
moves.
so now let's
Move.
fast forward. We have a lot, right? So one day, Rocio and I are having a meeting like this because we were starting to work on the book, and she's sitting in front of me. I'm at this desk, and all of a sudden she goes on her stomach, like a deep pain that she felt in her stomach. Literally 30 seconds later, the phone rings, and she answers the phone and says,
Where are you? And it's, mommy, I just crashed the car. And it's like, I know, where are you? So
it was this deep connection with our daughter, and she was fine, but the way it happened, and what we were discussing this because we were saying, okay, he's going to ask us, so which ones are we going to talk about? What was interesting is that we've been at each other's, like almost each other's witness when it happened. So I was there and I was able to see her, and then she was at another one with me. This one now gets to the point of, wow, okay? I'm not going to go into details just in case he's listening. I love him, he loves me, but it's fine, but no details. So we're in this campground, and I met this gentleman, and we're having a fire, and there's a group of people, everybody's having a good time. And this gentleman starts crying, and he says, my daughter passed away some months ago in a car accident. And I was, I'm so sorry, and so on. And it was just a beautiful encounter in which one man opened up to another man. And that was just beautiful. Fast forward maybe a year, and I went on a 4x4 event. I live in Los Angeles, and I went to Arizona. I went to Arizona, and I go to an event. And the event takes place 3 days there. I'm driving back my Jeep, and all of a sudden I see two groups of people kneeling down, or two men kneeling down with a Jeep, and they're doing something. And I thought, well, maybe something is wrong. Maybe I need to stop and help. We were on unpaved roads, and it ends up being this man. And I'm like, oh, and the moment, again, talk about awareness, the moment that you become aware, you stop saying, oh, look, what a coincidence. And you start saying, why is this happening? Why am I in this situation now? And all of a sudden, your eyes open and your subconscious opens to, okay, what's going on? I want to know, or I know. And I tell him, I don't know why I'm finding you, but there's no reason why I should be finding you in the middle of nowhere. Um, but that's it. So I go and because I'm heading back to Los Angeles. I'm filling up the tank. He stops next to me, and he goes. He comes right after I said goodbye to him. He comes maybe 10 minutes later. He's like, "Hey, would you have dinner with me and my wife?" And I'm like, yes, of course. That was kind of like the next awareness. So I said, but before I need to go to my hotel room and pick up my stuff because I'm driving home after that. He goes, yeah, absolutely. I'll see you at that restaurant. And I go to my hotel room and I'm packing stuff and I'm saying, why am I meeting this man here? This is unusual. These circumstances, it could have fractions of a second in which, I could have driven faster, slower, left later, whatever, right? And something tells me, this is where it starts to get like really profound and deep and even magical. Something tells me, tell them I'm okay. And I'm like, what? And my hair stand up still. And I don't know whether I'm having a conversation with myself or if all this is happening in my head. I don't know. I don't remember. And I said, oh no, I'm not going to tell two parents who experienced the death of their child that their child is okay. I need more proof than that. And what comes to my head is a doll, a Barbie, in fact. Again, at that moment, you dismiss it, you don't think about it,
You doubt.
you doubt,
Yes.
and then you move on, right? Fast forward, pack up, go. I'm at the restaurant now. I have no idea how to start that conversation. There is no way you're prepared to start, right? And all of a sudden, I give my birth date, and they go, oh, the next date, the following day of your birthday was our daughter's birthday. And I saw that as the door to say, now that you mention it, I kept asking myself, I looked at them both, and to him especially, I said, remember I told you, there's some reason for me to be here. And so I asked, and the only thought that came was to tell you the following. But then before that, and by now we were already deep into the writing of the book, I remember me justifying the messenger, if you will, the reason why I would be worthy of such a message. And I said, I want you to know that I take this so absolutely serious and I don't take it lightly. I've been doing so much work on myself over the past few years. I can't think of another reason why I am bringing this, but I kid you not, I've been trying to be like a good human being and cleansing and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I feel like the message I need to tell you is from your daughter. And the message is, I'm okay. Tell my parents that I'm okay. And of course, I'm by now tearing. And I see these people in front of me with their eyes open and looking at each other. And I said, and then go on and said, but I felt like I needed to ask for proof.
Validation, yeah.
For validation. And so I asked, but the only thing that came back was a doll. And then they start bawling. And they say, doll was her nickname.
Wow.
And then we all start crying deeply and profoundly at the table. And then there were hugs. And so do I believe? Oh my gosh, I believe. I know it to be true just because we can't see it. I see energy now when I go into a room, and I know when I need to leave that room, and I know when it's okay to stay. I mean, there's so much more. And even Tesla, the Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And when
Wow.
you do, right, this is like a scientist.
It's quantum. Yeah. Yeah.
And when you do, you start to see so much more than we have been allowed to see or we have allowed ourselves to see. So, yes, we believe deeply, profoundly.
That's great. I had an interview I recorded before you all tonight. Dr. Yafi, and she's an energy healer, a psychiatrist. She's just got a biography this long. And we were actually talking about that. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And I told her, one of the guys, I'm into Bigfoot. You might have seen one of the 50 around here on the walls. And we go out, we go looking for him. And you're not going to find him. He's going to find you. But one of the guys that I really believe has gotten the it factor on him wrote a book talking about quantum Bigfoot and how Bigfoot's around us. We don't know it because we're not at that vibrational level. And when he wants to, whatever it is, come down or bring it up to whatever he is or she is, then only then are we allowed to have that interaction.
Encounter.
And, it's people on the show listen to the show and they're like rolling their eyes going, yeah, whatever. But it is science. It is science. It's quantum mechanics.
Yes.
You can't dispute it. And if once you start believing that, yes, absolutely. And it's not just a ghost. It's not just Bigfoot. There's stuff around us. We don't even know what it is.
Yes.
We know, we only know what we don't know, if that makes sense. We're, like the comet coming at us. They're like, oh, it's doing all these weird things and da-da-da. It's because we didn't know what an interstellar comet was going to do. Why are we putting it in a box,
I
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
What I discovered, and now I love me understanding that I grew up in my country and my culture, and what they teach me was tiny compared to after traveling 65 countries, going all over the place, knowing more. Now I know that I'm not only that grain. It's like I understand the universe, but I know more, and I understand that I know less. So another thing that is important to understand there is, at one point I understand that sadness and heaviness looks like more an entity that is sucking your energy. And in the moment that you understand and you begin to see them, they leave you. And it's nothing that is not love is going to come close to me. This is my temple, and you need to go out. Because believe me, they were on top of me. And after my cleaning all of them, or most of them, no, all of them, is now I can recognize when an entity is sucking the energy of somebody. And that's why it's so important for people to understand how important is our temple, and to really kick out anything that you don't want.
Absolutely.
There's so much that we don't understand. There's so many, and the beauty is, and you mentioned it, Glenn, that quantum physics now, it's really opening the door. And I think what we're going to find out is, I don't know whether it's a few years down the line or 100 years down the line, that really esotericism and physics and science are one. They're just two different views from a different perspective of the very same thing. And we called it esotericism when we couldn't explain it because we didn't have words or research or the tools to explain it. And now we can. And so it's really, we're so profound as entities. And, you know, we don't know what 80% of our brain is used for. Well, what do you think it's used for? It's for all of those amazing things that we do that we can't see, we can't tell, we can't really put our hands on right now. But everyone has experienced a ghost in their lives, right? I'm sure everybody's like, oh yeah, there was this time when the rocking chair was moving and I didn't want to. We've all been there, but it's so difficult sometimes to put our hands on it and explain it.
That's right. Well, before we let you get out of here, because we're almost up to the hard break, I want to make sure you tell everybody where they can find you, where they can get in touch with you, because that's really important, I'm finding out. And of course, obviously, how to order the book and all that stuff.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. It has been our delight to be here with the two of you. We are honored and privileged. The
To
book,
witness Harley
yes.
really has been the best present ever. Thank you so much for telling us your story, because I always want to know what is the experience of the people with the book.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
didn't quite see us maybe, but we had tears of joy here, rejoicing in hearing the story and talking about it. So thank you. The book is called The Orchid, The Secret Code of Modern Goddesses. And I will say that, and then I will say to the men listening, please don't make the mistake of just dismissing it so quickly. The book really deals with 5 lessons: awareness, gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, and intention. And as you've heard for the last 2 hours, it's for everybody to experience. You can find us at theorchidbook.com, our website, and from there you can go to all sorts of different areas to purchase the book, our podcast, and so on. But really, just by going through the title, The Orchid, The Secret Code of Modern Goddesses, on all major platforms, where there is Amazon, Audible, the book is an audiobook as well, and it is fantastic audiobook. It just won an award.
Yes, that's how I listened to it, was through the audiobook.
Oh, and she is so wonderful, Robin. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So again, The Orchid, The Secret Code of Modern Goddesses, on Amazon or any other major platform. It's in English and Spanish, on ebook, print, and audio.
All right. I got to get you all in touch with Harley so you can get her a hard copy. So
Yes, please.
Please.
Please, because she needs to see something super important, and is in the page 132, and is the spectrum of inner growth. So when you begin to see it, you begin to understand where are you and how you can move from different channels and frequencies. So that's when you begin to understand that, nothing can stop us.
We are
y'all should have her on
unstoppable.
your show. Y'all should have her on your show. So since
Oh, we
Yes.
would love that.
since
We
you've
would love
really
that. In fact,
really have made a big difference in her. And I'm not just saying that. She's a different person. So but yes,
Wow.
I'll get you
Let
guys
me do
and gals
this.
in touch. So thank you for coming on. Oh, by the
Thank
way, are you
you.
planning on doing a second book by any chance?
we have a title. We know what it's about. It came through dreams. But we wanted to give proper space and time for the first book to go wide, because there's so much in it. So we're probably going to do maybe another year
Okay.
with this one before we go. So it'll be a while. But yes, we already know what
Okay,
it's going to be
good.
about.
Well, we're gonna have you back then. It's settled. We're gonna have you back.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
y'all
Because I
welcome
will
anytime.
definitely read it.
Yeah, and I'll put you all in touch so that maybe she can come over in your show and tell some more people how great
Thank
you
you.
are. So
That'll
I
be
appreciate
amazing.
your
Thank
all's time, especially giving us 2 hours. Thank you. It's a lot of love and energy. We really do appreciate it. So
Can you believe it
People
went
are
so
brought into
quickly?
your life for a reason,
Didn't
and
it?
I'm glad
Yeah.
you guys were.
Yeah. I told
Thank
her
you,
it was
Harley.
gonna be a good time. All right. You all have a great evening. And we will talk to you soon. And Chris says, I insist they come back, or I will be angry. We don't
We
want to
love you,
lose one of our
Chris.
loyal followers. So we love Chris. But
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
thank you so much for coming on. And hopefully Chris will get the book too. So everybody have a
Yes,
great
check
night.
it out, Chris. It is a really good book.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
let them go real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up with the radio station. Good night. I appreciate it. I told you it was gonna be a great show. Just didn't listen to me. So, and I, yes, you have made. I can tell a huge difference in you. So you are beaming. So don't let anybody steal your energy. All right. So we're up against a hard break here. Harley, you got anywhere you're gonna be?
No.
Okay, well, I will be live on the Thin Line Rock Station, www, the Thin Line Rock Station, tomorrow from noon till 2 Eastern, spinning some records, playing some tunes, and then immediately following that, I will be back doing Sportcat's Daily Gazette. So I expect to see you all. Come over and find the Sportcat shows. Hit that thumbs up, that like button. Just come over and show us some love. And this is going to be a weird outro because the computer or the studio is messing with it. So it's gonna be a weird outro. We'll play the song and then we'll come back and BS some more after we get rid of the radio. So. Live radio. Of course you will.
Oh, I do have a show this weekend.
Hold your horses. We'll get there. Right, we are clear, the radio audience, but we're still live on YouTube. Harley, have you noticed the studios acting up this week?
For which studio?
Any of them. It's like right now it's telling me to go live, but we're already live. So I have to actually refresh this and come back in to end the show. It's the weirdest thing. It's done this for 2 days now. I don't know what the
It may
deal is.
be the platform you stream on.
It's aliens. So, but hold on. I'm going to hit a button. We'll be back in 1 second, maybe. I don't. And we're back. It's the weirdest damn thing. Now I have a in stream button. So there we go. All right. Well, we're going to end this. I will be back tomorrow, 2 till 4 o'clock with more smart assery. So everybody have a great night. Chris, we will
Catch me
see you-
Saturday for
Yes.
part 1 of 1957 music bracket.
Yeah, go find Harley.
We've made it
and,
to almost the 60s.
you get to the 80s, let me know. So, all right. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you soon.